Sorry guys, Facebook kicked me off. Deeply apologize. I'm back on, you guys. Um, please come back on, like, share, all this good stuff. Um, we was going over some things. A lot of questions were asked, so please hop back on. I deeply apologize. Facebook kicked me off. So let me see if I can get people back on. This was really good. Just very bothered. Let me see. Share to your story. No. Hi guys, everybody getting back on. My apologies. You know, they kicked me off. Hey, Miss Simone, everybody's coming back on. So let's get back to it. Share this with everybody. Let people know I am back on. I was going over what's needed to, get to the points of credit utilization. So one of my viewers asked, how can it revolve every month? What do you need for your credit to revolve every month and get that score? So you put your current score and you subtract it by the maximum credit score, and that's 850 points. So when you get that, you then find out what the score is that's keeping you from the 850 points. Good. So 57 points is needed for your utilization to revolve your credit every single month. And with that, in order for you to gain those points during each cycle of building it, so no, it would not increase 57 points every month. That's the total amount of points you need to revolve your credit. So, Candace, I want you to do the same thing you did with the point 30. Do it with point 35, point 15, point 10, and point 10. And this is your payment history, credit utilization, credit age, overall credit, and mixed credit. So, what we're going over right now, Miss Michelle asked me, what points do she need for her credit to grow as far as the revolving of credit? If anybody don't know, revolving the credit means your credit cards. If you don't have good credit utilization, you won't have a decent score. So if you see yourself remaining at 640s and 740s or 720s, whatever the case may be, you won't grow your credit score without the utilization revolving. So, Candace, when you get all the points together, when you total it up, you will get 190. This method, it doesn't matter what your score is. Scores range from 300 to 850. Doesn't matter what your score is. This method, also with you learning how to read your credit report, will allow you to build your credit score with the points associated with each area of your credit report. So people that are coming on, again, if you look in the comments, Miss Michelle, she spoke about how can she get her points by revolving her credit cards. It takes credit utilization to increase your score. There's no other way around it. If you don't have credit cards, you would remain stagnant at the number because utilization moves the credit. So Miss Candace put up, her score, and she subtracted by the maximum score, that's 850 points. 190 points is needed for you to get to your actual goal, which is 850. No, that's not true. 750 is a nice credit rate. Don't get me wrong. It's a good credit score. But when you're in the 800s, no, it's way different. 750s to get you 1 and 2 and 3%, 1 and 2 and 3% utilization. 800s would get you 0.1s or less than like 1%, things like that. So it doesn't yield the same in weight. You would get approved absolutely with a 750. You can get almost anything with a 750. But when you transition from the 7s to the 8s, the ball game is played a lot differently. Trust me, a lot differently. A lot of people are, going after loans, car loans, and things like that. If you learn how to move money around and things like that, far as credit cards, when you're in the 800s, you can move stuff around to 0% interest cards and not pay it for 2 years. And then if you don't pay it on that card in the 2-year period, you can move it to another 0% interest card. So the 800s, they play ball a little differently. Not saying 700s don't, because 750 is an excellent score, but 800, they get a lot. They have a lot more perks in the 800 club. So as people coming on, please like and share, ask your questions. Candace, that was an excellent question. I'm happy you brought it up, because people, this is the step that you need to learn to build your credit report. You can't build it no other way. If you don't know this step, as far as the mathematical concept, you're not building your credit report. You're basically deleting it, and you're saying, okay, I increased my score, and you don't have the knowledge on what area you need to increase your score. So learn this mathematical concept. It will help you learn how to go after your credit, and increasing your score. Yeah, with an 800 credit score, you could walk out with a Benz with 0% interest, 0.1% interest. So, okay, I'm going to give y'all some tips. If you buy a car and you have an 800 credit score, people with 800 credit scores more likely to have credit cards with 0% interest, APR, for the first 18 to 24 months. When you go to a car lot with an 800 or better credit score, even a 750, because don't get me wrong, Citibank and Discover, things like that, they give out 0% interest credit cards. If you buy a car for $30,000, throwing numbers out there, and you don't want to go through a car loan or anything like that because they have interest rate associated with it, you can utilize your credit card, make the purchase. Just make sure when you make the purchase with the credit card that it has a 0% entry APR for so many months. So if you buy a car for $30,000 and you have, for example, either a Chase or American Express card, Citibank as well, swipe the card, you bought your car. You have 18 months to pay that amount off. If you don't pay it off in those 18 months, you could transfer that amount to another 0% card and then pay it that way. You keep your card revolving. You keep it going between the 2 and 9%. You move your money around. You don't pay you pay 0% interest, and the banks make no money. The goal is not you make the money, you don't give away your money. So when you reach the 750s, 800 club, you get credit cards with 0% interest. You can move your money around. So again, make sure when you get to the 800 club or 750 club, make sure when you make purchases, a 0% entry rate. You get that amount, keep it on there for 2 years or 18 months, whatever the case may be. Pay it off. If you don't, move that balance to another card. It's called the balance transfer. The banks don't make no money. You still pay 0% interest. You can play with that amount. If you have so many cards with 0% entry, make sure you don't go over those terms, like the 18 to 24 months, because that's when the interest rate will kick in. So always learn to move your money around when you get to the 7s and 800 club, because you'll have credit cards that gives you these types of perks. Chase, American Express, and Citibanks are a few that gives these perks. So, when you get up there, you don't have to go to a bank and get a loan. You can swipe a card, leverage your money, move your money. You don't have to worry about 1, 2, and 3% because you have entry levels that 0%. Balance transfer, move it around. Your card be paid off. Nobody made money. Hi, everybody that's coming on. Let's see. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good evening, good evening. Any other questions about anything on your credit report? You're more than welcome to ask. I am here for another 10 minutes. Any type of questions, shoot them. Let's see. Let me see if I shared it here. Group. So if you guys can share this. Here we go, right here. Any questions about your credit reports? How to read them, how to go about disputing, any of those questions. All right, well, I'm here. If anybody feel the need to ask a question, you're more than welcome to. I'll be on for another 10 minutes, roughly. Oh, stay on this page. How much do I charge? Well, I don't discuss rates online. I always, as far as inbox you can. But during my consultation, which is $25, that I will say, I give enough knowledge. If you want to do the actual restoration yourself, you can. If you decide you want to come on board and hire me, then, prices are discussed then. But my consultations, I give enough information. If you want to try to tackle it, you're more than welcome to. I believe knowledge is power. So, me rendering a service and coming on board, that's good. But, you get more, get more good out of it when you try to do it yourself. So that's one thing I do. I do give a lot of knowledge during the consultation. So anybody want to book a consultation, you're more than welcome to. I will, read your credit reports and give some major insights. So any other questions? Thank you, Miss Simone. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll give you enough knowledge during the consultation. You can honestly do it yourself. I believe in sowing into my business, not selling my business. And I thank God for that because, over the time, people have gravitated to me for knowledge and questions. And I'm more than, welcome to answer them. My daughter always say you could talk her ears off and she still will give you all the knowledge ever. So I started Credit Tip Tuesday again for people to come on and ask the questions because they can't afford services. And that's okay. That's why, this happens every Tuesday at 7. So, get the knowledge. Ask the questions. Don't be shy. Miss Candace, you did an excellent job asking questions. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. I started in the 400s when I first started this process, and I was a 454, 3 repossessions, evictions. It was all on my credit report. I did not have perfect credit coming into this. I shared my journey with a couple people, and so it's something that no one should be ever ashamed of. Building your credit keeps you out of a compromised state. We as people that are black, of color, we go through enough. Why do we have to have a compromised credit score to endure more? So I believe in knowledge. I believe in displaying the knowledge. I believe in, giving as much gems as I can. So, again, I started in, I think, the end of 17 to 2020, where I reached my peak. End of 19, beginning of 2020, I reached my peak. So, it's not nothing for you guys to be ashamed of. Please do not live with poor credit. You do not want to stay at a compromised state because you are ashamed of things like that. We have enough, again, that hinder us. We have to fight with knowledge. We have to fight of what we have every single day. Why not have financial freedom and, you know, free knowledge? Again, tackle your credit. This pandemic has taught me and many people many lessons. You know, concentrate on what matters. You know, concentrate on rights. Have your rights of freedom. Have your rights of good credit. All those play important roles. So, again, you know, I sow into my business. I don't sell it. What's a good score to begin a home buying process? Good question. Me personally, I recommend everybody that buys a home or an actual, you know, not a FHA or anything like that, because different laws apply. If you want to get a traditional loan, I believe it should be at least a 710. Because what they do, they give you a true score. So they add up, your TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, and they divide by 3 to get your score. Once they get the score, the third hard pull determines your APR. So I see people, because I work with realtors and underwriters a lot, I see people, you know, they get excited in the beginning, middle stages, and then at the end, if they don't have what's needed or something pops back up on their credit, they go from potential home ownership then to not owning at home. So I believe in the 700s, 690s to 700s, you're safe. So that's just my personal belief. Now, there are programs that you can be in the 500s and get a home. But if you want a traditional, you know, mortgage, be like at least 690, 680, 690s, 700s. How long did it take you to get a good credit? Almost 3 years. Almost 3 years, guys. It's not. You fluctuate due to the numbers. You go through so many processes building your credit. So I remember one time, I think I was like a 690 at the time, and I thought I was going to hit the 700 club, and I went all the way back down to like 601. I was like, Elizabeth, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Like, I literally almost lost my mind. I was just like, damn, I was almost in the 700 club, and now I'm back in the 600 club. And that comes with getting new accounts, building your credit, things like that. So when you have, you know, when you think you're on your way to the 700 club or the 600 club, and you trickle back down, oh my God, I went in heart failure. I'm not gonna lie, because I was this close to a 700 at the time, and I went back down to the early 6s, and I literally like lost it. So again, credit restoration, I call it the frustration process, because you want immediate results. It took you a very long time to destroy your credit or whatever happened to you. Please don't expect things to happen in 90 days. It's not going to happen. Will you see some results? Yes, but you're not going to go from the 400s to the 800s in 90 days. And if you find somebody that can do it, they can have all of my clients. I'm going to send everybody over there, because there's no way. When you're building, you're educating. When you're educating, you're learning the goal of not going back to that state. When you have people that do credit sweeps and unauthorized trade lines and CPNs, credit privacy numbers, they're not educating you on credit and not to go back to that state. You want someone that's going to educate you on credit. You want someone that's going to educate you on the processes. You want somebody to educate you on budget and money, so you don't go back to that compromised score. If you don't understand money, you'll never understand credit. I know that because I've been through it. I was the worst with money, beyond the worst with money. I went through too much. I would get paid on Friday, broke on Monday. It's sad, you know, and that's because I didn't understand money. And I also, at the time, had a poor credit score. So please, please, when you come to somebody or, you know, hire somebody or yourself, make sure you're knowledgeable of money, budget, overall processes, everything. My clients, we talk every 2 weeks for 30 minutes about whatever questions they have. They're very much so aware of their processes. We talk every 2 weeks. So that's something that you guys need to, you know, make sure you understand your overall credit and money. You filed bankruptcy in 2017, and now I'm 40 points away from the 700 club. Well, that's good. Don't touch that bankruptcy. And I'm going to tell you why. People that file bankruptcy have life after bankruptcy. People like to get bankruptcies removed that have credit age on it. Credit age on it. So follow me here. So if you file bankruptcy in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, even 15, do not touch the bankruptcy. The bankruptcy is helping your credit to grow. I know that sounds crazy, but follow me. When you file a bankruptcy, things on your credit associate with your bankruptcy, the notations occur. If you touch the bankruptcy and remove it with the credit age, you will plunge in score. I promise you. Because credit age, the word age means the longer you had that account, the longer your score will increase. The newer your accounts, you won't gain much points with newer accounts. So if you have a bankruptcy and you don't go after it immediately after it's discharged, like the second or third year, when it begins to age, leave the bankruptcy alone. You still can buy a home. You still can get cars. You still can get credit cards with bankruptcies. Leave the bankruptcy alone. If it's aging like fine wine, cheese is going to fall off, leave it alone. Don't bother it. People rush to get bankruptcies off because they don't want it on their report. If it's 5 years or older, do not touch the bankruptcy. You still can live after the bankruptcy. So yeah, don't bother it. Yes, credit restoration. Candace listens to me all the time. I love her. It is not a microwavable process. You cannot put your credit in a microwave, put it on 2 minutes, and it's done. No, you need to put it on Easter Sunday, Thanksgiving, Christmas. It's an oven baking process. It's going to take time to build your credit because there's so many components associated with building your credit. Do not rush your credit process. If you're expecting something in 90 days and if you come to me with a 400 or 500 and you want to buy a home in August and expecting to be a 600, 700, 800, I'm not the person to come to. I can promise you I won't take you because I don't believe in rushing processes. Rushing processes is setting people up for failure. When you allow them to understand the processes, you're building them so they don't go back to that state. So never rush the credit restoration process. Again, it took me 3 years. Let me see. Any more questions? Let's see. I'm loving the fact that people come on every Tuesday to watch, Credit Tip Tuesday, it's a joy. So again, I come on, we talk, we have discussions, and, throw it out there. Don't be ashamed. Trust me. Don't be ashamed. Black Girls Have Good Credit Too is also a group. You could go on and get questions. Jasmine Patton is the head administrator. Well, she's the head honcho with it. So you can ask questions within the group. But, we share this knowledge because we care and we love you guys and we want you guys to grow. It's not just about, as far as that group, men and women can join the group. Again, I do lives every Tuesday regarding credit. So ask as many questions as you can. Well, thank you, Miss Candace. I appreciate it. Candace says she went from a 429 to a 660 in 3 months using information from the Black Girls Have Good Credit Too and Credit Tip Tuesday. Yes, you can honestly build your score by tuning in every week and also joining the group. It's enough knowledge in there to build your score and do it yourself. A lot of people ask, why do I give so much knowledge? Because I can, because it's a blessing to have this type of knowledge and be able to share it. God said you sow into your business, or sow, you don't sell. So that's something I live by, and I don't mind spilling gems or telling y'all because at the end of the day, everyone deserves to grow. Everyone deserves to have excellent credit, good credit. And, no one should live with bad credit. I remember I couldn't even get a Macy's card. And Macy's is like one of the easiest credit cards to get. I think the minimum is $100. And my credit was so compromised, I couldn't even get a $100 credit card. And that's when I knew I had to make a change. When my spending habits, I will spend unnecessarily, and didn't know what it was to save, or budget. My daughter still gets on me to this day. I think I do pretty good, but my daughter says, no, you need to do better. So that's okay. So, coming to y'all every Tuesday and helping you guys, it's a blessing for me. It humbles me, because without you guys, it wouldn't be a D.A.L.S Credit Solutions. So I don't mind, giving y'all knowledge. I don't mind coming on and just saying thank you and just answering as many questions that time permits before Facebook kicks us off. So, I love y'all, and, I thank you again for tuning in. If you don't have any other questions, I will give y'all a couple more minutes. It is after 8, but I don't care. I'm not really doing nothing. My grandson's quiet. My daughter's quiet, so, I can talk to you guys. No questions. Let me see. Check something. All right, guys, y'all don't have to be shy. Ask me a question. I don't want to be bored. I want you guys to talk to me. Let's see. No questions. All right. Let me see if I share it so you guys can share it. All right. Well, much love. You guys tune in next Tuesday. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I will answer them after, the live is over. I have my shirt on, Ashanti. She's on Make Your Credit Great Again. That's my girl, Ashanti Queen. What's the federal agency? It's called the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB. So go to www.cfpb.org. Let me pull it up so you guys I can give y'all the right site. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Shoot, Queen. What's your question, babe? I bet you do love the shirt. You made it, chump. What's your question, Queen? Let me get this website up. Let me pull it up for y'all. So it's consumer. So I'm going to type it in. Let me see if I can type it in. Uh-oh. Consumer finance .gov. So I'm typing this in so you guys can become familiar with that site. Miss Queen, should I buy a trade line or not? So this is the part that I enjoy speaking about. One of the things. So when people ask me, should they buy a trade line, this is my follow-up. Why would you give someone your social security number that you don't have control of their spending? If you go under a trade line that you're not familiar with the person's budgeting habits, their spending habits, and also their overall credit, why would you purchase a trade line. Building your own trade lines is the best method of growing your credit score. Trade lines are not safe when you're not familiar with them. They're called unauthorized trade lines. People will charge you $700 and $800 for unauthorized trade line, and after 2 months, your score will drop down because that trade line is no longer available to you. And on your credit report, if you ever participated with buying trade lines, once you're done, it says the word terminated. Terminated, settled, things like that are deaf to your credit reports. So my response is never buy a trade line or give your social security number to someone and you're not familiar how they spend money or in how their credit, their utilization is. People will buy trade lines to boost their credit score. But after the period is gone, the 2-3 months that you paid the money for, your score goes back to where you started from. So it doesn't help you, it hurts you. You shouldn't give your social security number out to anyone that you're not familiar with because they can do X, Y, and Z with your actual social security number. So people keep drilling trade lines to me. They don't know how to read credit reports. That's why they're drilling it. People want to throw Band-Aids on wounds that need surgery. Trade lines are not always the answer. You cannot buy trade lines, again, and you don't know who the person you're going under. So, for instance, I've seen people that are 30 years old that buy a trade line that's 20 years old, and you're not even allowed to establish credit until you're 18. So you're not going to get the full benefit of it because FICO knows at the age of 10 that you're unable to establish credit. So people that don't know how to read reports or want to put Band-Aids on wounds, Ashanti, they'll tell you, get a trade line, get a trade line, get a trade line, get a trade line. You got to understand, factors of buying trade lines are knowing the person. You should know them, mom, dad, whoever. If it's unauthorized, and you decide to buy it and disregard whatever you heard about them, that's fine because it's totally whoever wants to do it. If you're 30 years old and the trade line is 25 years old, would it make sense to buy it? You can't establish credit at the age of 5. If you buy a trade line and the person has a 2 to 9% 1 month, but then spend 15-16% the next month, guess who credit takes a hit? Yours do. So you can plunge with buying trade lines that are unauthorized. So it's best to build your own trade lines, build your own credit report, and build your own utilization because you're familiar with your own spending. So I would never recommend trade lines to anyone because at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense and it's not educating you. So it's always a no for me for anything that's unauthorized. Trade lines, what else they sell? Credit privacy numbers, CPNs. Yeah, it's a no. No, don't do none of that. That will get you locked up with the feds. People that buy CPNs go to jail. People that buy unauthorized trade lines risk themselves of getting in trouble. You rather to be built. You can't put credit together. Putting credit together is like a Rolls Royce. It takes a long time to build a Rolls Royce. It takes seconds to build a Ford. I'm not saying it really takes seconds to build a Ford, but it's a lot more in detail. So you rather be built than broke down. You rather be educated than getting fast fixed. You rather be, aware than unaware. I'm not giving my social security number to no one to put me on something that I'm not familiar with. You're putting yourself in danger. A lot of companies, you sign up and you spend $199 to get enrolled, and the company will send you letters that are not even on company letterheads, and say, you'll see in a notation, this is not mine, can't verify this account, can't verify that account. That's illegal. It's called a credit sweep. Anytime a company have you sign up for $199 or $200 and they send you the templates and you got to attach your ID and social security number to them and get it notarized, you take the risk away from that company that you paid to do the work for you back into your hands. So when you get companies like that and people like that, you have to understand, read the documents, read what they're doing. Credit sweeps are illegal. Unauthorized trade lines are illegal, and so are CPNs. So you want to be billed instead of bought. If you're being bought, you go that route. If you want to be billed, get someone that's knowledgeable or do it yourself. So I don't participate in none of that. A lot of people do want that. They said it helped them. But, you know, if you get CPNs and things like that, there are cases out there, the feds will roll up on you. You know, a person, for instance, used a CPN to buy a car. She had an 800 credit score with a CPN. This is a credit privacy number. You can Google it. She's at the car lot, honestly waiting. You know, with an 800 credit score, you can get in and out with a car. It takes you no more than 15 minutes to get a car. They had her waiting for the car. Told her they couldn't find the keys. Just stalled her. She left and came back. The feds was waiting on her. She signed the documents. They picked her up. So when you want to do something fast, do it wrong. People have lost homes when the companies find out there are CPNs or unauthorized trade lines. When you go buy a home, the underwriters see that you're an authorized user. They'll tell you to come off of that to get your true score. So when you're in the process of buying a home, in the process of buying a car, or even building your utilization, you want to make sure you're fully attached to it. You do it yourself, or you hire somebody that's going to make you knowledgeable. So I recommend don't participate with all the fast stuff. Tune in to Credit Tip Tuesday, or join Black Girls That Have Good Credit Too, or hire someone that's going to make you knowledgeable of the processes again, so you don't go back to those compromised numbers. Yes, it is a scam, baby girl. Yeah, and you know you don't play. So Ashanti, don't even pay no money for somebody to put you on their account, because, oh Jesus, I don't have bail money to bail you out of jail, queen. So don't do it. Any other questions? You guys that are tuning in, go back and replay. Type in hashtag replay to get the full scope. Facebook did kick me off earlier, so it's 2 segments on Credit Tip Tuesday. It's a lot of knowledge in there. We talk about the numbers. We talk about credit utilization. We speak on this segment, unauthorized trade lines, CPNs, building your own credit. So, you know, if you guys don't have any other questions, much love. I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you tag, like, share. Thank you for those that share. And have a wonderful night. And I will see y'all next Tuesday. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.